What is going on, guys? How are you today? Surprised, this is not about tile. Not about tile at all. This is totally different from anything I've ever done. But there's a reason for it. There is definitely a reason for it, and you're going to find out here shortly. I'm going to let this video roll because I don't want to bore you from the very beginning. I'll bore you at the end with all my diatribe and everything I have to say about it. But I'm going to let the pieces of the video that I put together and edited so that it's very succinct, the way this incident happened. And then there's going to be explanation behind it. Stay tuned, boys and girls. Something totally different on my channel. And by the way, if you're a bootlicker, meaning that you really like cops and you think they do no wrong, you can just go away now, because I don't need the negative vibe. Anyway, I'm gonna let this video roll and I'm gonna talk about it at the end. So there are cops down there, way down there. They got radar and it's a speed trap. And I hate that. I hate that people are getting caught with tickets. So I do the best I can to slow people down. I flash my lights to oncoming traffic, but a lot of people don't get it and they still get tickets anyway. Then I got a strobe light on the top. But as much attention as I try and tell people to slow down, they still don't get it. And it's annoying. Watch this. Slow down, buddy, slow down. That's a cop. That's a cop. Oh well. Well, people were still getting pulled over, so I decided to go on the cop side of the road right before them and lit myself up trying to get attention to people so they don't get their ticket. Look at them, just speeding down the highway like no care in the world. Look at this guy speeding, just waving my arm. All right, brakes, I like that. Pump your brakes, girl. Got a visitor. Flag him down?
Yeah, because you're on the road waving at him like this.
Tell him to slow down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so you're just trying to keep traffic
helping
safe?
you guys out.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope it's worked. Has it worked?
Not really.
No. You still got a couple tickets?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't get everybody.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
We try because we come up here. Like 3 or 4 times a week.
I wasn't at home. If I was at home, I would have got my neon painted door that says police ahead, and they can see that, but I don't have that right now.
Well, we'll be here tomorrow. We'll have
Okay.
the same time.
What time?
So we should be here around, I think, 3:30ish. I mean, things come up.
Yeah.
Because we get calls. But
That's all right.
We'll be around 3:30 tomorrow.
Cool.
All right.
I'll be here. See you there. All right.
If it gets too close, just slide your truck over a little bit. Just not get the road too
Absolutely.
much, okay?
Yep.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm off road with the Cobb. Please see your driver's license.
For what?
You're making an illegal lane change. You moved right over in front of the car that was going over 50 miles an hour.
It wasn't.
Caused a wreck.
I got a dash cam.
Okay,
It doesn't.
It's not on
got
the
a
dash cam because that happened behind you.
It's on the dash cam.
Okay, 5 police officers saw you. I need your driver's license.
Side police officer saw me. I got dash cam on both sides.
Hey, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm off road with the Cobb. Please see your driver's license.
For what?
You're making an illegal lane change. You moved right over in front of the car that was going over 50 miles an hour.
It wasn't.
Caused a wreck.
I got a dash cam.
Okay,
It doesn't.
It's not on
got
the
a
dash cam because that happened behind you.
It's on the dash cam.
Okay, 5 police officers saw you. I need your driver's license.
Side police officer saw me. I got dash cam on both sides. You want to go to court for this?
That's fine.
Okay.
Hey, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm off road with the Cobb. Please see your driver's license.
For what?
You're making an illegal lane change. You moved right over in front of the car that was going over 50 miles an hour.
It wasn't.
Caused a wreck.
I got a dash cam.
Okay,
It doesn't.
It's not on
got
the
a
dash
dash
cam because that happened behind
It's on
you.
the dash cam.
Okay, 5 police officers saw you. I need your driver's license.
Side police officer saw me. I got dash cam on both sides. You want to go to court for this?
That's fine.
Okay. I know you guys are upset because I'm causing you money. I'm causing the county money.
Any money. I get $0.
That's why you pulled me over. It's exactly why you pulled me over.
I pulled you over because you
This
committed
will
a
go to the
traffic
judge.
infraction.
The judge will
Fine.
see this.
Okay, do you still live on South Cobb Drive?
Yep.
Okay, I'll be right back.
These guys are upset because I'm causing the county money by doing what they want done, which is slowing cars down. So they jacked up a charge, a ticket, that somehow I was going to cause an accident because somebody behind me, I moved over to lane too quick. Yeah, right. I don't like this. This is vindictive, and I'm going to go see their sergeant, and strike that. I'm going to go see the chief to file a complaint against this guy because this is totally bogus and it's retribution, and I don't like it. Oh, look at this. Look at that. What's your name and badge number?
What was that, sir?
What's your name and badge number?
Williams, 3316.
3316.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I'll tell Mr. Register exactly who you are and the officer that's giving me the ticket.
Okay.
He'll be impressed.
Okay.
So this is a citation for an improper lane change. I need you to make sure everything at the top is your information and sign on this yellow line. You're not admitting guilt. You're just stating you understand you're getting a citation. You're promising to come to court or pay a fine.
That's fine. And Mr. Register, I told this gentleman over here, we'll hear about this.
Because I know him personally. He's in my phone.
He's in my phone too.
Okay. Really? Can we exchange numbers? Can we see if you're BSing? Because I got him in my phone.
Okay. It's perfectly fine, sir.
Yep. And he doesn't
On the
like,
yellow line.
he does not like corrupt cops.
Okay, so
He
I don't
hates
like
them,
corrupt
which is
cops
why
either.
he was a chief and why he got rid of a lot of people.
He's still my boss. He's the public safety.
Yeah,
chief.
exactly. So,
I don't like corrupt cops either.
well, you are. You're a piece of shit.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
No, it's not a feeling. It's a fact. You're a piece of shit.
you to
It's
sign on the yellow
retribution.
line.
It's retribution. That's all it is. Pure and simple. You don't like it that I'm out here, I'll be out here tomorrow too. And I'm going to be out here with a sign tomorrow.
The person, the officer
Fuck
that
you.
talked to you.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Go away. I'm done.
Okay.
You're dismissed.
Here's your copy of the
You're
citation.
dismissed. Bye.
April the 19th.
You're dismissed.
Okay, you're not
I've
done
already
until I give
heard
you
what
your
you
driver's
said.
license.
I've
April
heard what you
9th in
said.
State court, you can appear that day and time. If
You're
not,
extending
you
this
can
traffic
scan
stop
the-
longer than it needs to be.
you can scan
I
the
already
code
know
online
that.
or call the number
You've already told
and
me
handle
that.
it before your
You
court
told
date.
me that already.
Drive safe, sir.
Whatever. I'll be back tomorrow. Piece of shit. Years for me and you, but I'm assuming they've been out there longer than that. So if in 15 years your thing has not worked, your product has not worked to slow people down, then I'm suggesting something different. And if I'm out there,
I got that. Hold on. I've got to get into a meeting here shortly. But what I want to ask you is this.
sure.
You said you got a dash cam that disputes the ticket that was given to you. Is that what I'm hearing you
Yes,
say?
and I have the SD
Okay.
card. I haven't loaded it up yet, but the SD card is going to basically say what I'm talking about,
Okay.
and I'll go to court on it.
This,
And you know, the
well,
court.
no. I'm going to get Deputy Chief Cohen, who is over patrol, to give you a call to discuss that specific thing, the dispute. But if you want to carry on the conversation with me, man, I'm always willing to grab breakfast or lunch with you, okay?
And that's why I appreciate you so much. And we have a mutual friend, Michael. Well, Michael's not around anymore, but Michael and Betty Amadeo. And my son was in karate over there back in that day when we spoke. And we talked about you, and she knew you. And I'm like, he's an awesome, upstanding chief. And everybody says the same thing about you. So I have the utmost respect for you. What I'm trying to get at is simply this. The Freedom of Information Act, I'm sure there's going to be text or some type of radio transmission where that sergeant had specifically said, if he does anything wrong whatsoever, give him a ticket. I'm convinced.
If you can find that, let me know. But I know Sergeant. I know the sergeant. I would hope that I know him well enough that he would not that. But, you know, as always, people may surprise you, but you can certainly do whatever you want because we do have to adhere to the Freedom of Information Act. But I am going to get Cohen to call you to talk to you specifically about a ticket that you feel was unwarranted and you have proof that disputes what the officer said.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna run in here and I'll get Cohen to call you, and then after you speak with Cohen, if you still feel the same way, then give me a shout back and we'll meet, okay?
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes, Bob. See ya.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, I want you guys to watch this again. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008. I'm straddling the middle line right now. That's when the car pulled up behind me. And he had to slow down because he was going very fast. Also, this is 4.5 football fields away. So they're claiming that I pulled out in front of that car where they could see 4.5 football fields away. That's 538 yards they could see somehow, magically, without a drone. And then when I get down to the end where they're at, you're going to see on the right side, at the very end of where these flashing lights are, 2 pickup trucks, black, right there and right there. Those are the guys that pulled me over. So they're literally waiting for me right at that corner. So as soon as I make this U-turn, you're going to see it on the back camera. As soon as I made that U-turn, they pull up behind me. So they were definitely waiting for me to come by where they were at. Whether I was going to go straight or make a U-turn, they were going to pull me over for something. And they just made up this bogus charge of proper lane change. And this is a point where I'm pulling over because they lit me up from behind. You're going to see it on the rear facing camera. Now on the rear facing camera, it's a little harder to see when I get to that here in a second. So you're going to have to kind of pay attention as I go through talking about exactly what happened. Remember, I was straddling that line when that car came up behind me. So that car has this lights on, and you're going to see that in the following video. Hold on just a second.
Hey, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm off road with the cop. Please see your driver's license.
For what?
You're making an illegal lane change. You moved right over in front of a car that was going over 50 miles an hour.
It wasn't.
Causing a wreck.
I got a dash cam.
Okay,
It doesn't.
It's not on
Got
the
a
dash
dash
cam
cam.
because that happened behind
It's on
you.
the dash cam.
Okay, 5 police officers saw you. I need your driver's license.
Side police officer saw me. I got dash cam on both sides.
So he said that car was going over 50 miles an hour and I almost caused a wreck. How does he know that the car was going over 50 miles an hour? Because they didn't have their radar out. And even if they did, my truck was in front. So I don't know how they figured that out. But here it is, going out onto the lane, 1001, 1002, 1000. You see him come up? 3, 4, 5. So he came up as I'm straddling the lane, and he's behind me now. He didn't honk his horn, he didn't get all upset or anything like that. He just had to slow down because I was straddling the lane and he couldn't go by me. And then 528 yards away, they theoretically saw this happen, and they were able to clock him and know that he was going over 50 miles an hour and I almost caused a wreck. That's a bunch of bullshit. And here's the thing. As I turn into the left turn lane, which is right here, they're already by the side there ready to pull me over. And watch them cross over trying to get to me so quickly. Watch this. Alright? One of them right there. Pulls over right there, makes his U-turn, and then the next one follows suit. In fact, he almost runs in, he almost gets sideswiped by a car trying to get to me. So it was the two of those cops that did that. Yeah, so that's it. I'm going to let the rest of the video play, and you can replay this if you have any doubts whatsoever. So there's a lot to unpack here. Let me start doing the unpacking. I'm going to give you a little history on this situation and why it's not really an anomaly. Back 15 years ago, I used to take my son to school, and I would have to travel that road that you saw me driving on. That road, right at the end of that road, leading into another road, which I'm going to talk about, there's a little turnoff into mobile home park, and 4, 5, 6 cops would be there giving ticket after ticket after ticket. And when I was taking my son on that road to school, I noticed that 15 years ago, and I didn't like it. I thought, well, that's kind of not right. Like, there's nothing to hit out there. That road that stretches from the last traffic light until the light that they're at, where the cops are at, is about 3 miles. And during that travel of that road, there's nothing but swamp. There's absolutely nothing to hit. The road that they're adjacent to, right next door to where they're at, is 8 miles, maybe 10. That is 55 miles an hour. The swamp road is 45, but the other road is 55. And they're never on that road. And there's houses and churches and businesses and all kinds of stuff going on that road. 55, and everybody's going 65, 70, easy. But on the road in question, there's a swamp at 45, which makes no sense to me. Anyway, that being said, when I left dropping my son off, I would go back over there, and on the opposite side of the road, I would start flashing my lights with my truck kind of cockeyed so that people could see my lights flashing. And a lot of people here don't know what that means. I've been in other countries, and definitely in Jamaica and Dominican Republic and even the Philippines, when you flash your lights, you know there's a cop ahead. But people here are a little ignorant to that, so sometimes they just give me that confused look and they get a ticket anyway. I can't save them all. So I would do that, and then sometimes I would not get pulled over, but a cop would come up behind me and ask me if I'm okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting here texting. I can't drive and text at the same time. That was an excuse. And finally, it's like, let me just pull the wool off of this whole thing. And then I would just tell them I'm helping, you know, like these people not get tickets. So you would think that they would be, oh, okay, cool. But they're not, because they don't care that people are slowing down. They don't want them to slow down. They want money for the county. That's all they want. They know it, I know it, everybody knows it.
So sometimes they would pull up behind me and ask me if I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. You know, could we call somebody? I'm like, no, you can't. Like, it was just funny, this little tap dance that we would play with each other. And then one time it got real. One time I was sitting there having a cigarette, and one of these cops came up behind me. Mind you, I wasn't doing anything illegal or anything wrong. And as he approached my window, I threw the cigarette outside of the truck. Out of respect for him, I didn't want to blow smoke in his face. So he asked for my license, and I said, what for? And he said, I'm going to give you a ticket. I said, what for? And he said, for littering. I meant, littering? Really? You're going to write me a ticket? Okay, whatever. So I got the ticket. He left. The crime had been committed because not only did he not ask me to pick up the cigarette butt, the littering that I had done, reverse the crime, but also he doesn't know if I ever picked up the cigarette butt, so therefore the crime was never committed as far as he knows. But anyway, I went to his substation after that and complained over there, which fell on deaf ears, and then I ended up reaching out to the chief of police, which you saw in the video. And well, he's not chief now, he's bounced around a little bit, but he's currently now with the county. He's public safety. He's the head of public safety now. Nice guy. When I reached out to him back 15 years ago and I complained about the whole cigarette situation, he had actually called me on his cell phone after hours, which I respected a lot, and I still have his number on my cell phone to this day. We had a chat about what I call corruption with this cigarette butt incident and all that stuff, and he is very adamant about he doesn't like corruption, he doesn't like, you know, bad cops and all this stuff, blah blah blah. So very upstanding guy. I have a lot of respect for Mike. So anyway, all that being said, this is going back, like I said, 15 years. We had a talk a couple of days ago about this same incident, about this incident that you just saw. And he tried to impress upon me how it was about public safety and how many accidents have happened out there, and, you know, fatalities and blah, blah, blah. And having been a fireman, I could easily see where that might be true if it was on the other road that people are going 70 in a 55, but not on that road. I just can't see it. So I did a FOIA request, which I have in my laptop right now, to find out about all the accidents that have happened in the last 5 years, because I'm fighting this ticket that I got. But also, I pushed back on Mike because he just believed that the cop would never do that. Like, that's just not in his character. I know him and this and that. I'm like, Mike, I have video. I have video, forward and rear facing, to show what he said is bogus. He's like, well, if you have the video, then yeah, go ahead and fight the ticket and all this stuff. But, you know, I don't know what to tell you, and yada, yada, yada. So I added some of that clip of our conversation, not the whole conversation. It went on about 15-20 minutes, but some of that clip of the conversation to this video. I respect Mike, but he knows not what he talks about, because I don't think I know nobody's seen my video. This whole incident was retribution. That day in question, I was coming back from the VA. I had a VA appointment, and I just happened to be going down that road 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I saw them lined up there, 5, 6 of them out there, you know, one radar gun after another, just giving out tickets like they were candy bars. And I'm like, no, this ain't right. I even told Mike, 15 years later, what you're doing is not working. Why aren't there the flashing lights just like that and put on that road for pennies on the dollar on what you've made in the last 15 years? So prior to 15 years, I know they've been giving out tickets. 15 years ago they were given out, and through that whole period they've been giving out tickets, and it hasn't stopped the speeding. So if you're really concerned about public safety, you would put some type of signs or speed bumps, or I don't know what the solution is, but it's not giving tickets. Just like that. FOIA request on both of the officers that you saw in the video. I've done a FOIA request on finding out how many accidents in the last 5 years have been out there. I've done another FOIA request for, what was it? Ooh, I can't remember now. I'll think of it. Prior to, you know, me going to court for this ticket, because I'm going to fight the ticket, because I always do and I always win. I've gotten, and a lot of cops will ask me, well, you gotten speeding tickets out here and that's why you're out here. No, sir, I have not gotten speeding tickets out here. I'm out here to protect my community. the people that surround me out here that you're giving tickets to. That's what I'm doing, and I'm helping you. And you should appreciate that I'm helping slowing down traffic. That's your goal, right? No, I haven't gotten, in the last 20 years, I've gotten 4 tickets. 3 of them were bogus, and all 3 of them I won. I went to court on and I won. And one of them was for real. Whoops. One of them was legit. And I actually was very respectful to the officer that pulled me over. He clocked me at a higher speed limit than he wrote on the ticket. He wrote a lower speed limit to lower my fine. And I went to court and I paid the fine because I was wrong. But in this case, and the other 3 cases, I'm not wrong. So that's why I'm fighting it. And I love a good fight. I love winning more than the fight. I like the fight. I really do. Because when I'm right, I'm right. And when I can prove I'm right, and in this case, I can prove that I'm right. If you watch the video, well, a lot of stuff to unpack on the video. A lot of stuff. Mainly the fact that I already did the mileage on where I was parked in relationship to where those cops were at. 0.3 of a mile. That's nearly 4 football fields long. 4 football fields. 0.3 of a mile is, what is it, 500 yards? Something like that. It's 528 yards, something to that effect. So if you see that I was straddling like 3 or 4 seconds after I pulled out into that right lane, I was straddling the line in the middle. And as I straddled it, this car came up very fast behind me and had to slow down. So the fact that the cops couldn't see that, but yet they claim that I almost caused an accident because I moved into the other lane too fast. What? So without a drone, you can see 4 football fields ahead and know where this car was coming from and how fast he was going. And if he was going over 50, which he should have gotten a ticket for, then why didn't you give him a ticket instead of me? But more to the point was that I was straddling that line already. Within 3 or 4 seconds after I pulled out onto the road, I was straddling that line. That car couldn't go by me anyway. He had to slow down to avoid hitting me. I was going slower than the 45 on purpose. Anyway, 4 football fields away, you're going to be able to see exactly what was going on. I don't know if they have binoculars, but even if they did, they can't see to my rear. To my rear, they can't see what's going on and how close that car was. So the whole thing was bogus anyway. And if you watch the video, they were staged up. 2 of them were, the 2 officers who pulled me over in pickup trucks were already staged up ready when they saw that I was leaving. It was too fast for them to make their U-turn and come up behind me. So it was obvious retribution. It was a retaliation ticket is all it was. And the reason I put this out there is because I just don't like corruption in any form, especially from cops. And with as much pushback as cops get lately, and as much corruption that exists in a lot of police departments around the country, it just amazes me. That cop had the discretion. He could have pulled me over and you know what? Yeah, you know, you pulled out a little bit too fast and you almost caused an accident. And you know what? Just be careful next time. Because a sergeant who accosted me, who we were talking, we got along great. And that cop could have done the same thing and said, here's a warning, and not written me the ticket, but he wrote it anyway. And he wrote it despite the fact that I told him I had video, because he didn't believe me. My take on it is that sergeant told those guys, when he pulls out, I want you to follow him or look for anything you can to give him a ticket. That's my take on it. Oh, that's the other FOIA request. Now I reminded myself. So the other FOIA request is for any communication between all of 5 of those officers. I want radio transmission, I want text, I want anything that they communicated during a 2-hour period from 4 o'clock till 6 p.m. Because I'm going to find out exactly what I believe is true. That they were communicating with each other to try and jap me up for something. And it sort of worked, except when I go to court in April, the judge is going to laugh. Because this is something, again, I don't care what the fine, if the fine was $5, I still wouldn't pay it. I have enough time on my hands to fight this. Not only that, but back in the day, I had a sign because, what was it, a door? I had found a door somewhere in a vacant lot. It was just basically a closet door, and I wrote on there in big giant neon pink letters, "Police ahead, slow down." And I put that door on the back of my truck because I didn't want to take all the effort of flashing every time a wave of traffic would come by. I didn't want to make that effort, so I just put the door on the back of my truck, and I sat in my truck and drank coffee. And within about usually 20 minutes to 30 at the max, the cops would leave. And when they left, I would leave. My job was done. But I didn't have that door. I don't have it anymore. It's long gone. So I made up another one just the other day, and I have it in the back of my truck. And I am making a concerted effort to go by there in the next couple weeks and put that door on the back of my truck and do this same exact thing. Do I need a life? Yeah, probably. But that's kind of besides the point. I just don't like it. And, you know, as I said at the very beginning, bootlickers go away. I don't want to hear from you. You know, if you feel like cops are like upstanding and they can't do anything wrong, and, you know, that I'm wrong, and blah, blah, I don't want to hear it. I just don't. Because right is right and wrong is wrong. And I just don't put up with that BS. You know, as an Army veteran, yes, and as an ex-firefighter, yes, I had friends who were the CHP. I was a fireman in California, and I had friends that were on CHP, California Highway Patrol, and local police officers too. So I don't have any problem with cops per se. I have problems with corrupt cops. And there's enough people on YouTube now, auditors especially. What's the guy up in New York? I watch him from time to time. Audit. Anyway, there's another guy on my channel. I don't know how he found my channel, but Rights Crispy used to chime in on my channel, on my YouTube, on my tile videos, and he has a channel too. It's called Rights Crispy on YouTube. I think he's in Florida. This other guy is in Long Island. Oh, Long Island Audit. Sean Paul Reyes, very good. You know what? Sean is young, and if I were his age in this time with social media and YouTube and all that stuff, I'd be doing the same thing Sean Paul Reyes does. Because he is awesome. I love the way that he controls the narrative on his channel. You know, when he confronts cops that are dirty and that are corrupt, and he blows it up, and he does an outstanding job, and I love that. You can't be outed if you have good morals, professionalism, and standards. You cannot be outed. If you don't, somebody's going to out you, and this is my way of outing this corrupt cop. I don't like that. And I have a platform, not as big as Sean Paul, but I do have a platform, so I'm using it. And I apologize to all of my subscribers who are like, oh, this isn't tile work. No, it's not. And I might drop off some subscribers by posting this video. I've already thought about that. Should I post this or should I not? It is a bigger issue to me than my subscribership. If I lose 10, 20, 50, 100 subscribers, so be it. But I just feel that strongly about moral character. And when you lack that, especially in your profession, yeah, that's when I call you out. So yeah, I'll do an update on when I go to court. It's going to be in April, so it's still, I think it's April 8th, something like that. So it's still about a month away. But when I finally go to court, I will try and get video of that. I don't know that I can, but I will try. I know on the preliminary, it's just guilty or not guilty, and I'm going to ask for a jury trial. Yes, I will. And it'll probably get bumped up another month or two. That's what I anticipate. What I expect to happen is that the prosecutor looks at my video and drops a charge and tears up the ticket, which they should. But I'll let you know. So stay tuned. Like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. Later, guys.